Miller's ready. Feeling bad. Miller's ready.
Hey, what to do, Hawk fans? You got Mo Diggs here, the director Mark Morales. We got Jello, the sleepy man with disease, right here, and we got a big guest today. We got Kiba. Kiba's in the house.
Kibu.
Say what's up, Kiba.
Yo,
So
was
Kiba, I only said your first name because I forgot how to pronounce your second name.
you don't know how to pronounce which one? The actual YouTube account that I usually go by, or
I don't know, dude. You tell me. It's
Jamie, how
Kiba
you
what?
doing, Jamie?
Kiba Delane?
Hey, Jamie. What's up, Jamie? Kiba Delane. There it is. Because I was going to say Delaney, and I'm glad I didn't. So Kiba Delane
Delaney.
here. We're doing pretty good, Jamie. How about yourself, man? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. So anyhow, today's show, we're going to talk about shows that let us down. Shows that were so hyped and that we enjoyed watching so badly that when we finally got to the conclusion, it was we were left unsatisfied. We were we were left with discontent that we were not happy in the area of which this show concluded in, or how this show went, where they could have done better with it, that kind of thing. And I think we're gonna start off with Angelo first, right? That's what we're gonna do.
All right. Well, my first one, which now some might say, okay, they get it, but to me, I just, I still don't like how it ends. And what I'm talking about is Sopranos.
What?
How do you just like go up to that point and then just like gone? Like you don't know what happens.
What you mean like? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. How do you not like the way this show ends? Why did The Sopranos let you down?
Like how you just gonna pull up on him and then you don't even know if he gets shot or whatever. Like it just goes black.
Just goes to black.
Like you don't even know what happens, and then you just cut it off from there. That's it. Like really supposed to have Twilight at the end? Do 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 do. I don't get it.
Well, well, listen. There was supposed to be a Sopranos movie too. Like I think they were gonna kind of come like to a point. They were gonna make a Sopranos movie, and it was gonna kind of I guess lead into that last episode and kind of shed some answers. But the poor late James Gandolfini, he had a heart attack, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to see nobody else play Tony Soprano. At least nowhere near the time dude was fucking Tony Soprano. You know what I mean? He was the man. He really came into that show. I mean, I don't agree with you as a fan. I'm a big fan of The Sopranos. The Sopranos is in my top 5 of favorite all time shows. I feel like The Sopranos is one of those shows that you can watch anytime. It kind of feeds into that darkness or that hype. It's how cool it is to be a gangster, kind of thing, and how the true way of being a gangster, not no fucking hibbity dibbity standing on the corner kind of shit. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's just fucking mob stuff, dude. I mean, you had so many great actors in it. They did so good. Fucking Jamie's like, what the fuck? Aren't you Italian,
Jamie
Angelo?
goes, Angelo, you're Italian. You know how the movie ended. They didn't have to show you.
I mean, pretty much,
Yeah.
man. It's like you can kind of just like either way, like whether he gets shot and he gets killed, or he gets shot and he lives, or that's definitely an epiphany moment in somebody's life, kind of thing. And I mean, let's be honest, man. They couldn't. What else were they gonna do with it? There was nothing else that they could do. If they would have like prolonged that show, it would have been shit. It would have turned to shit. I liked it. I mean, I'm not shitting on you for not liking it, but like I just don't agree.
Listen, even if there was an epiphany moment, I would have liked to have seen it. Like him get popped in the neck, like close to the jugular, and he just pops dude and like perfect pot in the chest, something like and then him like, okay, I'm changing my ways or some shit, like don't just end it like I hate endings like that. Which
You hate it when
you
it's left
know,
open like that.
yeah, I don't
Cliffhangers
like it.
suck.
Yeah, it's
Cliffhangers
like
suck.
I could have
Yeah.
kept watching that show. Long story short.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. I feel you. It always sucks when a good thing ends. I get it.
Yeah,
I guess he could kind of, relate it to like the way the ending of Breaking Bad was. You don't know if he really died.
Get the fuck out of here. Breaking Bad ended great.
It did end great, but it also left you at that cliffhanger of did he die or did he survive?
now see,
Just in case you want to go back to the
they're in the
well.
same they're in the same shit as Sopranos right now, where they might make a movie to like end it all, tie it all in, or some shit.
Well, they even got a
And
spin-off show going on right now.
Better Call Saul, and
Better
then
Call Saul. So there's going to
That's
be
true.
other spin-off shows. So I mean, whatever. We're talking about The Sopranos, but
nah.
what else you
So
got left? What else
my
you got on that
second
list?
one is Weeds.
What?
Yes, I hated the
Oh my
ending, and this
gosh.
is why I hated the ending. Okay,
Why?
they
Why?
didn't show how they came to be everything legit, like the type of housing or anything like that. Like like they just like went all into like family shit. Like Andy just straight up fucks her, and then he's like, and he just dips, like she said he would. Like shit's just fucked. I didn't like it.
Uh,
They could,
that show was all
like
over the board.
yeah. I mean, it's okay that all they're making money. They got a good home. They're safe now. Da 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 da. Everything's quite clean. But like, I would have liked more like in depth of what they're doing, not their whole family shenanigan bullshit that we all
But
knew
that
was
was
gonna
the whole
happen
point
anyway.
of the show is their family shenanigans and the choices that they made and how it
Yeah.
made them go deeper down the rabbit hole.
What I'm saying is, I would have liked them to prolong it to see some stuff. That's it. Anyway,
To me, I mean, it was what it was in 9 seasons. Was not you wanted more than 9 seasons?
bro, I watched Bleach.
You watched
Yeah,
what?
but Bleach went way off topic after the
I mean, yeah, but
What the
after the
fuck is Bleach?
how many episodes? How many episodes? It was like
I think it
400
was
and
like
something, 500 and something now.
What? What the fuck
nah
is Bleach? What is
Bleach.
Bleach?
Because
Really?
he just started
You don't know Bleach?
like half-assing his Hollow Mask like around 257, 58.
Well,
What is
that was
Bleach?
because it was after
But anyway,
Is
the
Bleach an
Aizen
anime?
incident. Yeah, it is.
yeah,
Oh, okay, that's why I don't
so
know what Bleach is. My bad.
yeah,
Futurama is
so
pretty awesome. It's awesome.
Is it?
It was great until
okay,
the Aizen incident. After that ended, it was just why.
bro. Every time I
Yeah,
go to the
Jamie,
flea
I feel
market,
you,
I
man.
stay looking for like
Futurama
Zanpakuto and shit like
should have
that,
caught
like
that
to see
one.
if they have a
Futurama was a good
actual
show.
life size.
Futurama ended great though.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
You know what?
Yes, it did.
You know what I think is interesting is that can any
You just want Bender
show
to keep coming on.
end
Yeah.
to where we like it? It
I
can't,
wanted a
'cause
I
we don't
wanted a
want it to
porn
end,
scene
do we?
between
Do we
Layla
want
and
the show to
Fry.
end? I don't think we want it to end. So
Go to
the
Pornhub.
ending is always terrible.
Man,
We never want a show to end.
Oh,
So
man.
You'll probably find it.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
change it.
alternative.
So what were you saying,
So,
Mark?
I was just saying that I don't think an ending of any show could be really great because we don't want the show to end if we like it. And this is more specific. We are kind of specific. We're like shows that were great, and then the ending left us longing for something more.
Well, I mean, that's
better.
not. I mean, like nobody wants their show to end. Yeah, I get that because it's a good show. But like, you can have respect for a show that I feel concludes well. Like I was talking with somebody the other day about Sons of Anarchy. I thought the show ended great. I thought it was perfect. It was not something I saw coming, and I still felt like it ended perfectly. So another person, their perspective was a little different. But in my opinion, what illuminates a great show, it has to be the beginning, the middle, and the end. All of it has to be great to be a great show. I feel like when it concludes incorrectly, or it just makes it cuts the legs out from under from the actors, I think it fucks up the whole show. That's just me. But
I
what
could
do I know?
debate that because there are actually some really great shows that started off really shitty. Like I'm talking like absolutely terrible, and you have to like grind your way through the first season. Then once you get through the first season, shit starts taking off, and then it just like that's where I be put onto it. Be like,
Uh,
you can't exactly say that every great show has to have a beginning, middle, and end. Some of
Now
them have
listen,
really bad beginnings.
no, but it has a really bad beginning, like when you don't know anything. But when you watch a show from beginning to end and you see where it goes, and then you have all the answers that the questions leave you in the beginning, that's when you know it's a good show.
Well, yeah, that's usually how a lot of
So
For
bad
you,
beginning ones that end great do. They are really bad because they're so vague. You're like, why are they doing this? What is the point of this? Where's the
but
plot going with this? And
that's
then it
what's
gets
supposed to
into that
grab
point.
you. That's what's supposed to grab you. So anyhow, you got another one on your list there, Jello?
yes, sir.
What note?
Death Note.
Okay,
Death
I'm
Note.
gonna have to actually argue with you on that one because
Ooh.
that one ended good. It ended perfectly the way that it was supposed to in both the
Ding, ding,
manga
ding,
and
ding,
in
ding,
the
ding.
anime. Yes, they had some extra episodes, but they weren't really part of the original spec.
Shonen
Why
Jump.
did you think that it ended badly?
Okay, so how is it like you're gonna have like multiple Shignamis in the end, and then people have eyes and like different powers and shit. To be honest, I can't remember exactly who and who had one or each one, but the way that it just like it's kind of like The Sopranos, like they end up all like dying or some shit. I don't even remember. I got so pissed off I didn't even watch it a single episode. Like never again. I didn't even rewatch any of it at all. Is how pissed off that ending got me. Like
Well, I know when this
I
when this show came out, Angelo was super excited for it. Like he talked
no.
about it
You're
for like
talking
two
about the
months.
movie, the live action movie that Netflix did.
Oh,
The
okay.
live
That's
action,
bullshit. They didn't
they
even
did
follow.
terrible on it
They
the
didn't even
entire
follow
time.
it at all. Like the girlfriends, like no,
No, they
Oh
did terrible
God,
with the Netflix adaptation, but that's the reason
no.
why Netflix adaptations are absolute shit. They just do
that's a
that for money. They do it as a money grab. That's exactly what they do.
And
Now,
I think
you're
Jamie, I'll cut
saying
in
that
for
the
you in a second.
ending.
Hold on. Finish what you're saying, and then you got to answer Jamie's question. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're saying that the ending of Death Note, which deals with Light dying,
mhm.
you're saying that after that whole fact, when you're watching the credits where Misa kills herself, do you understand the implications of the reason why she did that?
Yeah, but they both still died in vain. And like
No,
I
they
don't even
didn't.
remember. I
They didn't
bro,
die in vain. You got to understand. Light was trying to create a world where he became the god of justice, which in turn
yeah,
he was in a way to some people, and in a way he wasn't. Now,
yeah, he was
in
going
the
around
end,
fucking killing people.
if you really look at the synopsis of it, Light
Uh,
did cause most of crime rate to literally drop by like 75%. Crime rate died. He may have died, but it was already well known first thing in the first few episodes. Ryuk told him straight up, "I know when you're going to die." That was the time when he was going to die. He was going to lose that battle because of the whole fact that he already won against L. He won against L, and then it started becoming sort of like a
what
filler.
about all of his little fucking brothers and shit? Like that was ridiculous. I thought that was so fucking dumb, dude. Like they had a
Those
whole
weren't his
slew of
brothers, though.
them.
Those were
I
his
know they're all
successors.
orphans and shit, but still though, like
Nero,
uh,
Nero was way too simple. He already knew the answer way beforehand because he was way more intelligent than L. No shit. But the way that Kira died actually was a redemption arc in a manner of fashion. He let his own father die. He caused all those deaths that were not really meant to be just because he didn't want to get caught.
Yeah.
The reason why Misa killed herself is because she couldn't live in a world without light. She was infatuated with him throughout the entire faction. So
Right.
that was an understanding from her perspective. She believed that there was literally
So
nothing
sad.
left for her. It did not matter. She already lost her Shinigami because of Light's decision to make sure that that Shinigami died. Yes, she lived longer, but she also killed herself, actually ending the note quicker than it was meant to. But in a way, it actually tied it up pretty good, because if you had kept going with it where Light had just become the new god completely, it wouldn't have been any good, because no one would have been doing any crimes. What was he going to do? Sit there with a death note just staring at an empty screen?
No, because there's like 4 or 5 pieces of paper still floating around and shit.
Who's to
And
say?
Who's to say what?
Who's to say that no one will pick those up again? The whole fact is that the
yeah, but it
series
all
ended
ended
because
like
of the fact that the
in other
story was
words, all
revolving
3
around him.
shows evolved nothing but cliffhangers. Like there's so much detail left out. Like for example, the beginning of The Walking Dead. How the fuck is all the zombies and shit still gonna have their human instinct senses of like where to go and where to walk and like different memories inside the brain, and then all of a sudden they're
They
just complete
they did.
retards. Like they're all vegetable, just
That's okay,
neurons
Ty.
making a move.
Wait,
My
didn't
picture
you
just
even
doesn't
watch the
work.
first season? The first season straight up stated that there's nothing there except for
Felix,
the
what's going
instinct to
on,
eat.
Felix?
Nothing that makes them human existed anymore. It even showed the replication of when that doctor's wife was reanimated as one of the walkers. Showed that
You're a
the only type of
replication.
neurons that was brought back was the beginning part of instinct.
You're a replication.
I know I am.
Is that a
But I
little
was
bit better,
government
Ty?
issued. It's just the problem is I was a flawed specimen, so they got rid of me.
Oh, okay. I
So,
can see that.
Kiba, I think Jamie had a question, but I don't know what this is.
Yes.
So maybe you know. He said, "What about Sword Art Online?"
Sword Art Online actually got absolutely shitty in the second season,
I
just
agree.
because of the whole
First
fact that
season was
it was,
badass.
the first season was really good until it started becoming a romance comedy, because of the
That show
fact that
was
they tried
fucked up.
making it comedic but also romantic. Yes, the light novel was really good, but it also ended on that same sour note. He was like a shut-in, but he was also like an outside going person. He was very good at everything else. He was very good in computer sciences and everything like that, but he was game addict. So he always escaped there because he was not, he wasn't professional in any of those other types of fields, but he felt powerful in those games. When they turned it into that romance comedy and then they ended it on the first season where he finally finds her, but she's not back yet. Ooh, who cares? Second season goes absolute off the fucking wall. Now it goes into the close to range of incest, and that's not something that a lot of people like. So, and it's just this big, huge ball of he's just this pansy little coward crying because his virtual girlfriend is stuck. Then Gun Gale Online comes back and tries to do a redemption arc about it, and it lines back up to that same exact point. He is the best at the best because he's good at
I'm sorry.
things,
I
but
didn't
that's
mean
about
to
it.
laugh. I
I
just read Felix's comment. He says he watched Pikachu today and fell asleep. All right.
Okay.
That's cool. I
Okay.
appreciate it. But Jamie so fucking agrees with you as he commented. So
I mean, Alization, the new season that I posted up, was actually a pretty interesting one, but it was kind of confusing on why they brought that one in there. They should have just ended it. They should have just stopped, because then they started trying to make it to where it was more based off of bringing artificial intelligence into the real world when he already did that. He brought
All
Yui
right.
into the reality of the world using special cameras and everything like that in just the third one? In the third season? Yeah, in the third season, they literally brought her. She was an artificial intelligence created by the Cardinal system that he saved, he created. He had already brought up that type. Now they're trying to make actual artificial intelligence that's actually like real people by using this form of dive program that takes real people.
Hmm. Well, I mean, it's all Greek to me because I haven't watched this show, but it sounds like you got some pretty interesting points.
It was a very good show in the very beginning, very
See you later,
interesting,
Jamie.
and then it just died.
No one really has nothing to say. Neither does Marco. They're just sitting back listening, like, alright, yeah.
Hey,
I've
man,
seen Death Note. I have not.
all right,
seen
JBC,
Better
bro, I
Than.
love you too.
But,
Appreciate the comment and question.
but after
Yeah, man.
when you guys send me your list, right, that I have to put into this, I like to go and read about it and watch some of the trailers of it and everything like that. And so I end up learning about more new shows and new things every single time I go through your guys' list. And I wish.
If
like
you
I
want,
said-
this is completely not sponsorship, but VRV if you want to watch anime. It even has cartoons from like Boomerang.
I'll have to go
Oh,
see
yeah, it has-
what is up with it.
Exit stage left.
Still comes on Cartoon Network real early in the morning.
Yeah, but you know. Then away, Cartoon Network kind of died after what, 2010?
The fuck is
2012?
Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network was the old
I
cartoon show
I
that
know what
everyone
it is.
absolutely
It
loved.
died. It died.
I know, it died at like what, 2010, 2012?
I don't even remember. It's been dead so long.
Been gone for a while.
It's all about Adult Swim now.
All right, since
Yeah.
we're getting into anime territory, we'll start doing some of the Kibas, and then maybe Angelo has some stuff to say about those.
I have no idea what you're saying, Marco.
He says he's
watches
going to
a
go
little
into
bit more.
Kiba since we're doing this animes.
Cool.
We're transitioning
Oh,
over into the
Yeah, he
new
watches a
section.
little bit more anime
Cha-ching.
than I do, obviously. But
I watch anime all the time.
I'm
You
talking
are
about
an
Angelo.
anime.
I didn't know Angelo
I
watched
know.
as much anime as he does.
He doesn't watch very much, but I'm actually kind
Not
of happy
now.
at the fact that I know somebody that actually did watch a couple things that I know of. So in my first arc of one that I got disappointed was the light novel of No Game, No Life. No Game, No Life, if you don't know about it, is basically these two brother and sister, they're not even actually real brother and sister, are teleported into another world that's all based off of games. Literally everything is based off of games. Chess, poker, anything, any game type you can think of, it doesn't matter. The ending of it, because it's a light novel, ended on that question of, are they actually going to get through? If you watch the anime or you read the light novel, you'll actually understand that they only get to a certain point. They only actually conquer one other area, which is the Exceed 14 of the War Beasts. They ended it right there, saying that they are going to conquer the entire world of Disboard, which was the entire setting of this game, where all 16 races existed like a chessboard, to fight Kami, or God, which was named Tet, the god of play. They ended it right there. 10 episodes.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
They showed other races that were available to it, but they never bothered to continue it.
You want to? I mean, I'm sorry, but just
They got a budget.
like what you're saying, it's like a show that started, but then they cut it off. You know, it's a show that did that for me was a show called Carnival. This
Yep.
show
I never
was
watched
They did
it.
the same
so
thing with that
fucking
one.
awesome. And after
It
the
was.
second season, when it was just getting good, like you were just getting the answers, just boom,
Just-
gone. That's
Yeah,
it. We can't
it
do
was
this
gone.
no more.
It was sort of
Just
like The
a
Sopranos
dynamite.
black. It was like
So
The Sopranos black screen. Gone.
I totally get that, but no, but The Sopranos was a conclusion. Like that was a conclusion. Like this is a show that never got to go where it needed to go. Like
Right.
it was like a chick whacking you off to the point like you were about to get there, and then she just
And then
stopped
she just
walked away.
stops.
Yeah.
They just
No.
It's like that blue balling moment. But the whole thing
Yeah.
is that they actually did
Figurative.
create a movie actually after the season had already ended a little while later, but it had nothing to do with the actual continuing of the arc of the story dealing with Shiro and them. It did not. It just didn't, and that was the problem.
Fuck
They
those
should have
guys.
continued it and made it to where it would have been like, even if it was only like 2 more seasons, only like the 3 seasons. 3 seasons at the most would have been good, because then they would have been able to get the other ones there. They would have been able to actually fight God and then
A
see
little
whether
more
they decided
development.
to be, yeah,
Yeah.
to where if they actually took over the realm of being the one true God. But they
Hey
didn't
man,
do
I
that. They
totally
just
feel
ended
that.
it,
I totally feel that. I
you
feel that
know, and
completely.
it was an amazing anime. It really is something that you should watch. Like, it's got amusing artwork, it's got an amusing storyline, but that ending just it throws you off. And like, it's not even like a normal season where it's like at least 12 to 14 episodes. It was only 10 straight episodes. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I get it. So what's next on your list?
The next one on my list was Kizunieva.
All right,
What is
crazy
with
eight.
the rake?
Are you you're
Before you
raking
Mini
in
start,
over
rake
there?
of God.
I was
Before you
thinking of my
start,
beard, and I was like, man,
Jason,
I feel like that farmer dude in the
Hold
old
on.
picture.
Yeah, okay. So in the second one, and the only other one, because I couldn't think of another one, was Kizunieva.
Ty,
It
good old
was
Ty made a joke at your extent before you go on about this show.
okay.
Good old Ty from Walmart 5034 made a joke at your expense. He says, if you should write, and he writes the word right wrong, a strongly worded letter and then happy face emoji. Ty, when the word write as in to write something, that's WRITE, my friend. So if you want to insult somebody on this show, motherfucker, do it with good grammar. Okay. Fucking asshole. I
I
still love you.
second that.
Thanks for the comment. So, all right, Keeper,
All right.
what's up with this show? What's going
All
on
right.
over here?
So Kizunieva is actually based off of like a sort of futuristic Japanese realm where they have the ability to use this program to take emotions from people and try to get it to where they can sort of, I believe, bring connections with people. It's like there's a major disconnect with people. The whole entire season is based off of this one guy that literally sacrificed his entire pain reception and all of his emotions and gave
What's
it
the
to
name
this
of this
one
show?
person. Kizunieva.
sounds like
Kids and Never?
RoboCop.
Kizunieva. And it's really good. It's got a really good color scheme.
Sure,
It's got a really
Ty,
good
sure.
artwork style, but they ended it to
Season?
where it was not where you would have expected it to be. They just straight up ended it to where the
I can't even
person
rate
that
a
had
comic
taken
book
all of his
system.
emotions and all of his
Right.
pain receptors, they
Huh.
got all of it back. He's got all of it back, and now he's with her. Now he's gonna start dating her, and he's in the hospital. They ended it after a long session of these people, these kids, learning to become friends and starting to share pain and memories and emotions with each other through this program. And then it just throws it right out the window and says, okay, by the way, this person and this person are now going to be together because they were the ones that were the most connected throughout the entire series, even though no one wanted to think that it was.
That sounds so fucking complicated, man.
It was. It was a very, very complicated anime. But a lot of people that have a better generalization of understanding it would be able to actually relate with me about it. They should not have ended it to where, oh, so the person that he's trying to, understand better is now going to be his girlfriend. Really? Now they're going to be together as a couple just because of the fact that she finally gave him back his emotion and his pain?
But before you keep going, because Mark's addressing Ty put damn nit. Autocorrect did that. So he spelled damn nit instead of damn it. And then he put it in the right is all capitalized way. So our good friend Mark Morales here commented, tell him, good try, Ty. Yeah, autocorrect no grammar. Oh, good. Oh, good. All right. I like it. Ty, you are welcome on this show anytime you want to troll us, bro. Fucking great. I loved it.
Get.
So
He'll be
this
right back. He
show has
lost
a,
his connection a bit. I just sent him a link to the
this
YouTube channel.
this show you're talking about, there's a lot of feelings going on. It almost sounds like it's like Matrix-esque, where this guy's in control of all these feelings, and he can make people feel each other and all this kind of
No,
jazz.
actually, it's quite the opposite. He has no control over it. He has no
And it's
control
just
over his own
happening.
emotions because he has nothing. He gains these friendships with a childhood friend that had been in love with him for the longest time, and there's this other guy that actually falls in love with her. They find out that he has those feelings for her through the fact that she is having this serious heart pain at the fact that the guy that she loves is trying to find this other girl and she's just not having it. She doesn't want that to happen. She doesn't want to sacrifice the person that she cares about the most to this nonchalant stoic woman. And the other guy, it's an entire storyline where they start developing this telepathic empathy connection to where they start being able to feel each other's heartbeats. They start being able to hear each other's thoughts, everything like that. And it goes through a great story arc of starting to understand the connections between human beings. But in
Now,
the end, the program fails.
Does this show does it have English voiceover, or you have to read it?
It does, but you can't watch it on VRV in English voiceover. You can probably find it on like animelist.com or something like that. Some other website that probably has the English one, but I would suggest you actually just watch it with the subtitles because the actual English voice actors are terrible. They don't fit the characters at all. Have you ever tried hearing an English actor, like an actual normal speaking English person, not British, but try to speak in a stoic, non-emotional state? It sounds like a really shitty Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
So no,
fair enough.
I would suggest watching it with just the subtitles. Trust me, it's not that hard to really follow along. So,
All
but
right.
the story is amazing. The show is amazing. It's great. It was really well done. It's just the ending had just it made me upset at the fact that I waited every single week for the new episode to pop out. When it did,
Did it feel
watched
rushed?
it, and then at the no, it wasn't rushed at all. It actually felt really smooth and really nice, and I was actually anticipating the next episode a week later. I was literally waiting for the next episode to come out, and when the last episode came out, it wasn't what I wanted.
Okay.
I didn't want it to end like that. I didn't want it to end to where, oh, I got my emotions back. Now I'm going to start dating you, and we're going to start doing this one step at a time.
Now let me ask you something. Did you rewatch it?
I did.
And you still felt the same way?
In the end, the ending still felt the same, even though I already knew.
Did you put your hand back on?
Why you trying that, man? You sitting there hating on The Sopranos.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sitting there like, I threw a phone up because they're stuck in the fucking ceiling.
Wait, fade to black.
You faded to jeans.
Shut up. Be all technical and shit. Anyways, all right, man. Kiba, you know, I appreciate you sharing with that. Sharing this. And this song, what's it pronounced again? Kisnever? What?
Kisnever.
Kisnever. It actually sounds interesting. I might give it a shot.
Give it a shot. Actually watch it. It is really good.
The only anime I've ever watched is Hunter x Hunter or something like that. I watched that with my daughter.
That was a pretty decent one too, but it wasn't as great as I thought it was gonna be either. Like I started falling off after a couple episodes.
And I watched some Ghost in the Shell. I liked Ghost in the Shell.
Everyone loves Ghost in the Shell. That's a classic.
There's another one that I liked, but I can't remember the name.
Okay, explain it.
It's two guys that have guns. One has like a red trench coat and purple hair. I don't.
You sure I forgot it? Like silver.
That sort of sounds like Trigun.
Trigun. Yeah. That was pretty good. That was
The
enjoyable.
the one guy that's like the most notorious guy out there. He's got this $1 trillion bounty on him, and he's like this big goop ass. But he's like
Well,
really good. He's a really good crack shot with a
that's
gun.
fucking
So
I
dark.
don't mean to disappoint our Hawks, but that's going to be the end for our anime portion of the show because there are no
works
animes on
works for
my
me.
list.
That's fine by me.
So if you know me and you watch this show, you know I have to put on a Marvel show, and that Marvel show is going to be the Iron Fist. This fucking show is the most boring piece of crap ever. This guy's Danny Rand can just Danny kick some fucking rocks for all I care. You only see the Iron Fist, like the fists, like 1 or 2 times. He's just so blah. Like the whole
I
show is
need to
just
give it
blah.
to them.
I got bored with
I
it
just
after the
stopped watching
second
it.
episode. I just got
I-
bored with it. I was
I
like,
can't-
I'm not even gonna.
I can't believe they made 2 seasons, and then not only made 2 seasons, they try to make him the leader in the Defenders. It's like what?
Yeah, no.
What?
Really? They did? Oh, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Even
That's
though it should have
terrible.
been Daredevil, but Daredevil's all like, "No, I don't want to lead you guys. I've done some bad things. Fuck you, Daredevil.
That's
You're
a
the
bad thing.
Well, that's
You know,
because
you're-
Daredevil had that sort of, he had that sort of, motivation. It's sort of like the way, Batman at times, where he's like, I know I am the leader because I have to be, but I don't really want to be either at sometimes.
But Batman leads. Okay,
He,
doesn't.
of course he leads because of the fact that he knows he has to.
He's
Because
the
if
one who
he
put the
doesn't,
Justice
who
League
does?
together, sir.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because he knows that if he doesn't do it, no one is going to do it.
Well, not only that, he knows if he doesn't do it, he's gonna lose. He needs these guys with powers.
that's true.
Let's be honest.
That's true.
He's
He's the
fucking smart.
only one without powers, and he's like, fuck it,
So-
I've got a plan for everything.
This show just completely let me down. Before this show came out, the only knowledge I had of Iron Fist was what I heard through word of mouth. I used to play a game called Marvel Alliance, and it was a Facebook game, and you can purchase characters as you get coins and stuff like that. And one of the very first characters you get to pick is Iron Fist, and he has the shroud over his head, and you kind of read a little bit on the knowledge. He's supposed to be Australian. He's supposed to be kind of like a surfer guy. He's supposed to be very zen. They made his character totally logical. Like, yeah, he's a hippie, but like he's like super smart and smooth. Like, this guy is not supposed to be that way. He's supposed to be more just like super zeroed down to spirituality. Like, he's supposed to be one of those spiritual guys. And I just feel like it was terrible. I feel like he didn't get the character right. He looked like him, but like I just didn't see the Iron Fist. I didn't see Danny Rand when this guy played.
The only
Finn
thing
Jones
that I have to
needs
say
go
about this
step on a
season
nail.
is that it almost doesn't fit along with the theme, because I've heard that this show is complete shit, and it's supposed to be good shows that ended shitty. But this was a complete shit show that I thought they canceled. It only lasted like one season.
No, it lasted 2 seasons, number one, and it was on a spin-off show, The Defenders. So technically it lasted 3 seasons. And this is part of something that is a lot larger than just one show. This was part of the Marvel Universe. That's why I bring it up into this show. When you heard that they were making an Iron Fist to lead into the Defenders, it was after they started making all of the Marvel superhero movies to lead into the Avengers. So you're thinking, hey, they're going to do this for TV now. So it's part of this universe. It piggybacked off of that. So at a whole, this is probably the most disappointing thing of the Marvel universe, which is why I brought it up.
I think that's kind of why they brought in Shield to try to
Shield
kind
was
of
good.
retcon.
Shield was before this.
I know.
Agents of Shield was before this. I thought Agents of Shield was awesome. A lot of people didn't like
Agents
it.
of Shield was amazing. It was actually really good. It was dry in some points, but it was really good altogether. It actually brought a lot of stuff together into what you thought and actually understood with dealing with Hydra and everything like that. That was the cool part.
So I feel like this show, you go into watching it, you have this high expectation of it because
And
of
then
what
it just
you've
falls
seen
flat.
already in the movie, and it's just no, it's not there. It's like the
Yeah,
first time you
it
say
just
Marvel
died.
did something wrong, So that's why I brought it up, Mark. I'm sorry if you feel like it doesn't fit the theme.
No, I think it fits the theme perfectly because of the fact that you were hyped for it. You were wanting to watch it,
Well,
and it
Yeah,
fell
it
flat
let me
right in the
down.
very. Basically,
Let
the
me down.
very beginning could have been the ending for you. Just that whole straight up statement with that. That's the reason why is actually a pretty good one, stating for that being one of your shows.
Well, I appreciate
You know,
the support, Kiva.
the big
I
the
appreciate the
beginning
support.
could be just as
Hope,
bad as the ending,
well,
or it could be like
hopefully,
I
hopefully, Mark lets you back on the
I
show.
get it. I get it. It just isn't no. Kiba's been great on here and everything like that. And if he wants to be on more, that'd be great.
Awesome.
I just I can't explain it right now. I'll explain it a little bit later. Of why the particular theme. And the particular theme of why we even came up with this whole idea me and Mo did together, like, will come out at the end and everything like that. But it was just on the basis of where show started off, just like in general, being just growing to this amazing epicness and everything like that, and just like a lot of times the writers and everything like that, and trying to make everybody happy or not giving a shit about everybody's happiness ends the show just a little bit differently. And it's a really hard thing
Okay.
to deal with in general. So, whatever.
We're
there's
gonna
not
go to
a-
the we're gonna go to the next one, and then we'll talk. We'll step back into that conversation at the end because I hear what you're saying. You're right. You're right. But they all can't be home runs, Mark. I can't lay 3 home runs down. All right. But this next one, Mark's gonna agree with me, and that's Dexter. Fucking Dexter. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget when Dexter came out. I was 23, 22, and I was working in an automotive warehouse. And every day, me and my homeboy Wani would go to work. We'd throw some fucking automotive shit, stock, whatever, whatnot. At the end of work, we'd blaze one, hit the gym, go home, and talk about Dexter. Watch Dexter. We thought Dexter was so cool. This guy worked for the Miami Police Department and was a serial killer who killed serial killers.
Yeah.
Badass.
he
Badass
was a
show.
serial killer of serial killers. It was. I actually agree with you on that
It was
too.
a great
It was
show.
a really good show.
Great
It was
show.
a really, really good show, but it ended terribly.
So
Yeah.
if you haven't watched Dexter, there will be spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, you're probably never going to. You should slap yourself for it. Because Dexter
still
is
watch
an
it.
amazing show. It's still a good ride till the end. So you're watching this show, you're watching Dexter
That
do
was
his
not a good
business.
ride until the end.
It was a good
No,
ride until the
It
end.
was a good ride until the end.
Get outta here.
Shit. Fuck out of here.
That's what I mean. It was a good ride to the
French
end.
twister shit. Fuck
That was the end. So anyway, so you're watching this show, and as this show develops, it's Dexter in confliction with himself. He knows he's a killer. He knows he has a darkness to him, and he's trying to channel this darkness. So he punishes other serial killers by killing them. He kills them, he rids them of this world, so far as satisfying that dark void that he has inside him. So as you're watching this show, you think he's different. You feel like he's different. I'm sorry, guys. I got a phone call. My bad. I'm sorry.
I can only do that so. I can only do this so much, you know.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a
It's
second.
just starting to hurt my back.
That was fucked up. So,
It's still
all
sideways.
right. Oh shit. She keeps calling me back. Hold on.
No, Mom, I don't want to watch the next season of Glee.
So, anyways, I'll just keep talking. You think that this guy is totally different, bro. Totally different. He's actually good. He's not. He's not. The way it ends in this crazy hurricane where he gets rid of his fucking dead sister, it's so fucking stupid the way they do it. And then he wakes up like he's walking around working on a fucking logging company. Yeah, he's a lumberjack, still killing people, still doing his thing. Because in the end, he wasn't different. He didn't give a shit about his son. He didn't give a shit about his name. He was reacting emotionally to everything. He was being the thing that he was against the entire time. So the way it ends is just that Dexter really is just a fucking serial killer. That's all he is. He's nothing special.
I don't know.
Yeah, that
it was
that
kind of
was depressed. It was
the ending was
disappointment.
way off the wall and kind of shitty. I guess like
Kinda.
you could say that he kind of gave up on himself, but I didn't get any indication that he was still killing. Then I just
Oh,
think
he's still killing.
He's just in a different.
Oh no,
you
he
can't
was.
just.
He
Hold
was.
on.
It's
You
it's just
can't
that the
just
way that
stop
they
him.
ended it, they made it seem like, he was like, screw this, I'm done trying to be the supposed good guy. I'm just gonna do this because I like it.
He's not. He's just not
That's how it
doing it the
felt.
way he was doing it anymore. He's accepted what he is, and he's given up on the idea of what he could be. So,
Right.
in my opinion, like number one, that's the worst message you can put out there for anyone. Stop trying to be better. Stop trying to strive.
Yeah,
It's just a
that's
shitty
like a
ass
chaotic
ending.
neutral person.
And then on top of that, the last season when they bring in that fucking lady psychiatrist and she's like the one who guided her father into guiding him, so he feels like she's a mother. They played that whole family line on it, dude. Like it was terrible, and I know why. It's because the writers changed for the last season. That's what happened, and they were rushing to end it, and then making sure that he's selfish and is keeping him alive. Now it keeps it open because they can go revisit or anything
Right.
like that. It could be a totally different Dexter now, but I just didn't like the way it ended. I hated it. The message, shit. Halfway through that series, season 4, that's when everything like gets real for you. Everything gets real at the end of season 4, and it's something that you didn't see coming. The writing was great. The second season with the James Doak series,
Surprise,
that was
motherfucker.
fucking perfect. I mean, like there were so many great things to this show for it to end that way. Really let me down. Really let me down.
That sort of
Very
gets me that
disappointing.
feeling of nostalgia, that disappointment, the same way that Supernatural ended after like I think season 11, when the writers changed and everything, and they just went.
Yep.
It's like, how do you run out of shit to think about? It is dealing with the entire mythology of all religions, all evils, all good, and everything like that. How do you run out with fucking content?
Oh,
How do
yeah, I
you
don't
just
know.
go off onto like it made it feel like it was a spin-off series that was just continuing
Yeah, what was
just to try to make
Batman's
money.
original name? It was like Cosmosto God or some shit. God Cosmosto of the Mayans.
Yeah,
I,
originally that's actually pretty true, because I actually read up on that too recently. There was a religion that actually revered a god that had the body of a man but the head and shoulders of a bat. And that's where Batman kind of came into the realization.
mhm.
There's a town called Batman, and they actually tried suing the American production of Batman, and they did not win.
Okay.
Which
Of course not.
honestly makes no sense. You can't actually do that just because of the whole fact that this only just recently got brought into existence. Only just
Mhm.
recently got brought into light. How do you try to copyright something that was lost to time until literally like what, a month ago?
Bro, history repeats itself. That's all I see.
Reparations.
That's all I
Exactly.
see.
But you can't
Reparations.
but
So,
you can't copyright something that was long dead for thousands of years, because we've created a universe dealing with something that was iconic in that image. You
they just
can't.
turned a god into something else.
They
Like
All
they
right.
didn't
Well,
even
probably in
they didn't
2
even
or
do
three
that.
hey,
thousand years
hey,
from
hey,
now.
hey, hey, hey. Y'all want to talk about God? Get your ass to church. All right. We were talking
Fuck that.
about Dexter. I got some phone call. My bad. I'm sorry.
Dexter feels like a god in my image.
Anyhow, this is going to lead in, and this is what Mark means that when him and I talked, why we came up with this show. And my third show that I want to talk about is Game of Thrones. You're goddamn right. Game of Thrones.
I already knew the ending was going to be shitty, even without even watching the entire series.
Game of Thrones gets you so into it, and you know what I mean. Listen, I binge watched this show for 2 months so that I can watch the last season with everybody else. I watched the first season when it came out, and like we were talking about earlier, how sometimes the first season is shitty and then it leads into greatness. That was kind of like what Game of Thrones is. But since watching the last season, I have decided to rewatch it. And now I don't really feel that bad about the first season anymore.
You rewatched the whole thing? Or
no, I've started to. I'm in the second season again. So, but I already rewatched the first season, and let me tell you, the first season is actually a pretty fucking good season. Now that I know how all these characters grow into where they're going, I kind of see all the foreshadowing. But this is what I will still say. The show ended cheap. It was cheap. Okay? The main antagonist, which is Cersei Lannister, gets like the best death ever for anybody could ask for if they were going to die early. Let me explain something about this conniving bitch. This fucking lady, dude, throughout the season, this lady did so many cruel, harsh, terrible things to everybody. She killed an entire family just to get rid of them, just to get them out of the fucking conversation by blowing up a church.
How the hell?
You fucking hate this lady. You're watching the show. How does she die? Oh, in her lover's arms, pummeled by rocks. She doesn't get fucking stabbed. She doesn't get fucking raped. She doesn't. No terrible shit happens to Cersei. No, absolutely not. And then all season long, you're listening to Daenerys fucking make all these really good decisions, doing all that stuff. Hands down, she had her fucking people telling her, you know, you don't want to do that because her initial instinct is to fucking rain fire and brimstone every time because she's a Targaryen, but then they talk her down and she makes a good decision. She frees slaves. She's punishing oppressors. She's doing all this shit. And then third to last fucking episode just snaps. Fucking burns a whole city to the ground. Kids, women, old people, all of them. The fucking dogs. Burns it all to the ground.
You do
Kills
understand
everybody.
that's because of the rags of inbreeding, right?
Doesn't matter.
That was
Doesn't
the whole
matter.
foreshadowing. Everyone knew it was going to happen.
Mo didn't
I mean,
know.
I didn't know, man.
Everyone knew it was going to
Mo
happen
will
if you
know
dealt with the actual truth.
When you watch episode 10 of the next season, season 2, Mo, watch her dream, and she relives her dream. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. And that second to last, in the very last episode, she relives her dream. And her dream was telling her that you're going to go down this path and you have a choice. You have a choice of the throne or the choice to be human. So what they would have should have done better was when she chose to die, if she would have seen Drogo again, then it would have made more sense. But yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but it's because you guys started talking, I kind of didn't finish the point. You watch this bitch burn the whole fucking city to the ground, right? And it goes into the next episode. You know, Tyrion's not going to fucking be her hand. He tosses the shit and whatever, whatnot. And Jon Snow, who is actually should be the king, doesn't want to be the king or whatever, whatnot, still loves her even though it's his aunt. And he's not raised like Targaryens where they marry family members and shit like that, which is normal for Targaryens. But anyway, they could have done a lot more with that last season. That last season is not particularly how it ends. It's just the way it ended. There's just zero development. You have no time to be comfortable with her making a 180 turn and changing everything. You have no time. You get cheated out of a cool Cersei death. And then at the end, like if any show that was like Weeds or like Shameless, those are shows that they end on downers. They always end on downers. Why does Weeds suck? Because it didn't end on a downer. they all succeeded in some kind of way, going their own separate ways. They all succeeded in life in some way. Whereas this one, fucking Arya gets to go explore. Jon Snow gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. Sansa leads the North, and all the guys in the South, like Bronn, like Tyrion, like all these guys, they all
It's the
just get what
same
they wanted.
thing. They're all
They all just get
successful.
what they wanted. That's what I'm saying. They all just get what they wanted. It was a happy ending. You know what? You know what would have satisfied me as a fan? If everybody fucking died. If everybody died in some kind of way, I
Mass
feel like
genocide of the
would've
entire
been a better
series.
ending. That would have been a
Oh my
better
God.
ending, dude. That would have
Screw
been a
the
better ending.
entire book
And on
list
top
of
of that,
all those people that died.
and on top
Everyone
of
needs
that,
to
it's
die now.
supposed to
I
be
think,
it's
yeah.
supposed to be an ending, whereas it's completely open. Who knows what Jon Snow is going to encounter beyond the wall? Fucking Sansa's going to lead the North. Yeah, that's going to be fucking simple. What is Arya going to adventure? What is she going to find? What's going to happen? I have
She's
more
gonna
questions than ever. Whatever happened to the baby White Walkers? Are they sleeping beneath the ice? Are they going to come back in 1,000 years? Where did Drogon take Dany?
Well,
To his playpen.
Can
baby-
Bronn warg into the dragon? Did he
Those-
already?
those
Is he
babies
able
had,
to?
a lot of those babies had grown up. They were the other. They're not the kings, but they were his other minion men. They were on the horses. Those were the babies. I don't know if you knew that.
But he already had those dudes with the horses with him. There's only 4 of them. He had them with him before he got the babies.
They don't. They have not finished the story. The story is still being read. Maybe this is why George R.R. Martin hasn't finished this damn book. And like, I want to f up this number because people will kill me. But it's over a decade. We've been waiting for a book from him
What?
to write the last book.
It has. It has literally been
And
over
so this
almost
last
a
season
decade.
was what he figured and knew was going to be the end. But he hasn't finished writing the book. He just told them what the end was going to be. He just hasn't.
I
tied it
don't
all
personally
together.
think that.
What the fuck?
I don't.
did.
I don't personally think that was going to be the ending.
But he
I
said
think it was personally that he
said it
wanted it
was.
to be the ending, but then he changed his mind. But they were like, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to do it anyway because we need to finish it.
He told
I think
them
that the directors rushed
that
it.
he knew that he's been sick, and in case he thought he might die while they're filming this because he's not in good health. He's barely hanging on by a
What?
thread.
He is. He is. He's actually not very
So
healthy
he
right
told them
What the fuck?
how he thought that he's gonna want to end it and where it was supposed to go, and that's it. He hasn't been able to tie it up. So that's the biggest problem when I think of the season. You make it only 8 episodes, a short season, and there's so much
6.
character tying up you have to do. You can't
There's
make
6
it good.
episodes.
You can't make it good.
There's-
Yeah, 6 episodes.
Why can't you? Why can't
You
you?
need more time.
Because directors want their money.
There's like
so why
many
wasn't it more
characters.
episodes?
There's so many characters. How can you wrap it all up? You can't. You needed more episodes,
Yes,
but
you
they didn't
can.
want to do more episodes. How do you wrap
They
up?
should.
There's like 30 other characters they didn't even talk about in the season that they talked about earlier. They didn't ever wrap
What
up.
I'm saying, I'm not saying that it should have been done in 6 episodes. I'm saying it should have got a full season. I'm also saying
I'm
that it
saying
probably
that
should have
I
ended
never
on
watched
episode
it.
4. It should have. No, well, it was still a good ride. Really good
Bro,
ride.
I
It's just
kept
a
falling
big old.
asleep after like 4 or 5.
It's like a big old donkey punch to the fucking nads at the end, dude. Like for me, it's just you don't get to see.
Like
Angelo
like,
didn't even
episode
get to watch
talk
anything
about.
good. You watched 4 first episodes, which is like even before it even starts. That's almost like a pre. It's like a pre of the episodes. It's like a
Yeah, no,
pre of-
dude. Like
That was a
honestly,
prologue.
at the end of the 3rd season, that's when you're like, oh, this show's real. At the end of the 6th season,
That's like,
the most
3 years
realistic
later.
show you would ever watch.
dude,
I
at
could not
the
give
end
the
of the
show
6th
3 years.
season, at the end of the 6th season, I fucking I texted Tony to call me because I wouldn't say it on a voice message. I said, okay, I'm ready to say that it's better than Breaking Bad. I'm ready.
Man.
And now the conclusion came out. I'm ready to say Breaking Bad is number 1 again. But no, man, fucking
It's-
Game of Thrones, huge letdown to me.
They should have did a full episode. I don't really know. But
They should have,
That's what
absolutely.
we've been mad at.
I already kind of knew that she was gonna flip her shit. It was already being shown in the episodes throughout the time that she was just fighting with herself and whether she should flip it. or
Oh
not.
yeah, yeah. That's not the biggest issue. Like I just feel like it ended so cheaply, man. Like, cause like Cersei was huge, dude. Like there wasn't a person in the world that liked Cersei, that likes her or enjoyed her or
Right.
anything.
yeah,
Like she
that
was
was the
like
one
the
thing.
worst.
And
was
I
shit.
and I agree with
Like,
you on that.
really?
I agree with you on the way that her death was. Her death was just way too simple.
And I was so sad that the Hound died, but that was a badass fight between the Hound and the Mountain.
Hound.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Dude, when you start watching this show, in the first season, you're kind of like, the Hound's all right. And then you watch like the second and the third season, you're like, this fucking guy sucks. And then the fourth and the fifth season, you're like, this nigga's pretty cool. And then he just becomes cooler and cooler. And at the end, he finally faces off with his brother. And look,
His
like,
brother
like,
is the
just-
biggest badass that ever existed. Oh my god, that dude is
ever existed. When they were kids, his brother
He's gonna die then.
pushed his face into fire because he was playing with his toy. That's how fucking dark this person was. This person didn't give a shit about nothing. So the Hound had like all these scars
What
here.
the fuck?
Oh yeah, dude. He was an ugly looking fucker. But yeah, that's just from the development of the characters to where they end up to how it ends. I just felt like it was a huge letdown, and I never want to see Daenerys' face again. I never want to see her face. Fuck you, Daenerys. You just stay looking at the land.
You
All right.
dude. I don't even
Just
know what he's
fucking-
talking about, but fuck you.
Marco, I dare you. I dare you to flip the image. I dare you.
Don't flip it. Don't do it. Of Daenerys. I don't want to see
Make her-
Daenerys anymore. I can't look her
Make
in the
her-
eye.
Make her look at him.
I will Dracarys you, motherfucker. You will be Dracarys.
Wow.
All right? Dracarys. So,
if we could do special effects on the fly, we would have like flames over at Kiba shooting out from.
One day
Facebook
you'll be able
Messenger
to.
can do it.
Facebook-
Yeah. Call you on Messenger.
You got
Anyways,
mail.
that's our show, guys. If there's any shows that let you down that we missed out on, please let us know. We'd love to have a little back and forth with you. And
Horrible.
a big thank you to the Hawks. A big thank you to Kiba Delane, to Mellow Jello over there, the ZZ man,
This is
and
Alright.
the director Mark Morales. Man, I'm Mo Diggs. Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Go ahead, Kiba.
Kiba,
You know how to end it, Kiba. Say it.
Everybody
Should
gets to say
I?
something. Let
Do
Kiba
it.
go last. Let Kiba
Do
go
it.
last. What do you want to say
Okay,
to the
so
Hawks?
Jello,
Angelo?
go then.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do
What
it.
does Jello want to say? Well, all I want to say is, it isn't about the end result. It's about the journey. That's all I want to say. It's about the journey. That's what goes in life.
On the
Fucking
Go ahead,
boat
Kiba.
again.
You guys are
Do
a
it.
trip. You guys are a trip.
Do it.
Over the top. Call out.
Yeah, that's right.